Do not attempt to adjust your speakers. The sounds that you're about to hear are various sounds that come from a human's mouth. So this is what we came with.
It was St. Patty's Day, and we didn't know it because St. Patty's Day isn't a big thing out here, and it's a big thing down there. And that was the thing. We came out of the Irish pub. We were liquored, and planking was the thing. Parkour and planking. It's like where, like it like came out of like the deep depths of my memory. Like
parkour,
plank,
Crazy.
Like
just on top of a
like,
fire pole, fire hydrant.
Oh, and it's like planking when you're 12 and can like hold your weight in a solid like plank versus.
That's what you've been training for, Shonah. That's what you've been training for.
I like literally look like I'm just like a wet rag over top of a railing.
Just no core strength at all.
I remember seeing for the first because I've been. Were we the same age?
Yeah, close.
Yeah,
to
no,
it,
it
yeah.
is. But like I just remember, we were like just pre high school when that was a thing. And we were seeing one of the kids. Like, oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But I remember just thinking it was so badass when one of our friends, he planked on the hood of a police car. It was just like, whoa,
like,
badass. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Literally just laying down, face down.
Exactly.
I think that's literally all it is.
So it is. It's a rebellious.
Oh.
Or like the
action.
Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake.
In your head.
Harlem
like,
Shake was so good. Did you participate in any Harlem Shakes?
2013.
I feel like you would be the king of Harlem Shakes. We did my boys basketball team did a Harlem Shake. That was pretty. I was on a boys basketball team.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had ownership of the team.
Like you were Mark Cuban and you had like a high school boys ownership.
There's not enough girls to make a team. She's like, yeah, I'll be part of it. Like, we can't have you on the team, but you can
take
over.
You can own it.
Yeah, you can own it.
On the team.
That's an entrepreneur. You were an entrepreneur from a young age. Started with the boys basketball team.
I owned the Killarney High School boys basketball team. Yeah.
Wow.
Put it closer.
Incredible.
There you go.
A little toy.
Toy like a toiga. What's that from?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 28. Right?
I think so.
For the record,
we had a little bit of a hiccup last episode.
28.
Yeah.
I know, not bad though, right?
I feel like you haven't been doing it for this long.
I feel like you haven't been listening to the podcast for long.
I listened to the first 8.
Oh, you haven't listened to 20 of them.
No, what is that?
That hurts.
that math is fine.
She's
I don't got
pick
time.
through. She picks through.
It's not like you don't drive for hours
does she
and
subscribe?
hours on end.
Does she subscribe?
To be honest, I don't know.
Exactly.
How to subscribe.
Why
I
do
feel
we
like,
have her on the
hey,
you should do
podcast?
that.
subscribe
Sorry.
on the podcast.
Right, like,
I'll
open
subscribe.
the door. Like,
I feel like she'll subscribe, but she'll pick through. It'll show up. Oh, they got a new one. Not that one.
No, I don't
not
pick
that
through.
one.
It's usually like if I see something on Instagram and be like, oh, they have a new podcast out, and
There
I
you
have
go.
time, then I
Great.
then I
Okay.
watch it
Okay.
or listen to
Okay,
it.
that
or
means
whatever.
Instagram stuff
clips is
works.
where
Instagram definitely works.
clips is where it is. We gotta
Yeah.
clip it. We gotta clip it like crazy every podcast.
Toy like a toiga.
Yes.
There you go.
That's who I am.
Welcome to episode number 28
28.
of For the Record podcast. And as you've already noticed, we have a special guest here
Yes.
today.
What was the tell? What was the tell that wasn't me right there?
I think when she asked, "Is it Call Her Daddy podcast?"
Oh.
I think that was a tell.
I got asked if I wanted to be on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and now I'm in Brandon, Manitoba, telling them how to set their setup.
The guy in shorts and a big brown
Guy in a mullet and jorts. Whoever
You
this guy
really lowered your standards a little bit.
It's fine. I'll take what I can.
Can I get your opinion as late? Okay, so I when I got a haircut, I didn't want a full on mullet. I said I don't want a full on mullet, but
Are you upset that I called you out that it's a mullet?
no. This is not upset. I'm upset.
I like
First of all,
it.
you said a
It's
haircut.
nice.
It doesn't look like you got a haircut. Your hair's just growing.
Well,
in
yeah,
different
that's what
directions.
it was supposed to be. Not. I just kind of cleaned up.
Yeah.
But I don't like. It is a little too mulletish because it's long enough. The back of where it's like does the wings out?
No, I like it. I don't think it wings out though. Like I think it's kind of like pony boy.
Okay. I was thinking because now that I see it, I'm like, I think I want a little more like Mohawk-ish, like.
No, I think
it
it's. I don't
doesn't.
think.
Okay.
I don't think it's scooped. I think you're worrying about it too much. I don't think it's scooped out. I think he got like
He's
yeah.
overthinking it.
I like it. It looks
Hey,
good.
I'll tell
It
you
matches the personality
Well, sure.
and the jorts.
Well, sure.
And yeah,
That's
big
yeah,
vibes.
yeah, exactly. I got this going
And the
on.
mushroom. The mushroom.
Whoa!
Whoa! He
George,
is
that
working
tight.
on a specific outlook for lip sync battle, so
Yeah,
there's that works. That's working.
You
on
heard it here first.
Hear ye, hear ye. I, Joseph Rainey Sims, come to you on this podcast to talk to you about Trident Music. We want to be a part of your event and play some quote-unquote bangers, as my podcast co-host would say. We want to run your party and make you have a great time. So visit tridentmusic.ca and we shall play for you the bangers.
Before we get there, before I brought up lip sync battle, are you going to backstab me again this year, taking any of our current staff for your performance?
No, I don't know if we're
Okay.
gonna do it or not.
Okay,
we'll
good.
see.
No,
We'll see.
I just
Why?
had to
Because we
Harassment.
won.
I just had to bring him back and
Yeah, you did win your.
We
you
won
did
our.
battle.
We won our battle.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
was pretty good.
We win our battle almost every year. So
You didn't last year,
this past year we
did you?
Against Shane.
I'm Knuff.
yeah,
I'm Knuff beat the
Okay,
glazed
that's fair.
and
No, that
confused.
was kind of funny.
glazed and confused, where he actually betrayed everybody by promising he'll take his shirt off, and he did. There
Oh,
was
he
another
did. Yeah,
shirt
I
on his
forgot
side.
about that.
That was chaos.
That was chaos.
That was chaos.
That was.
'Cause you won
Anyways,
that. The year before was Spice Girls. We won that.
Yeah.
yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Year before that was
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
That one was
That one
tight.
failed.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say it necessarily
Ronnie.
failed. Yeah, Ronnie's participation.
Did
Remember?
you just showed up too?
I
Like you were
landed
off a
that
plane.
morning, and then I showed up to that evening. We landed like 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. Drove, dropped our stuff off, changed, and then I showed up.
Yeah.
That's how.
So
Incredible.
the part about that was quote unquote a failure was not. We won that battle.
Yeah.
But the biggest part was, I forget who we were
Who
against.
are you against?
I don't remember who we were against.
Anyways,
But after that, we threw paper airplanes from the top and shot off confetti cannon.
Yeah.
And we got in big trouble.
And I had to pay $200 cleaning fee.
Yeah.
as you should. As you should.
As an event decorator and things, confetti.
Houston's was not happy.
Yeah. Confetti's
As
not
you
great.
should. And no, it's literally in the contracts. Like any banquet contract, like Dance Time was the same thing. If you do any sort of like rice confetti, glitter, anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Actually, funny story. So Ronnie, were you at Ronnie's Christmas party?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
late there.
very late.
Yeah.
Very late.
Were you there for the confetti cannon?
No.
No, but this is
So
great. This is fun.
confetti cannon. Ronnie had 3 confetti cannons, and 2 of them were big ones, and 2
Just
of
for his
them,
house.
Yeah, for his house,
This
and
is
2
just
of
in
them
his living
were
room.
small ones. And I looked at Ronnie and I was like, Ronnie, are these like glitter? It's like no. They're big
it's
streamers.
just-
They're big streamers. They're fine. And I'm like,
they're bigger paper.
they're bigger. Yeah,
confettis.
they're bigger. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. Someone accidentally popped
So-
one off.
Everybody wanted to test it out because Cash's 30th birthday. He doesn't know we're all ready for him. So Isaac wanted to pop it off and just make sure it works and know how to do it because we had like 6 of them. And we're ready to, he's like, okay, let me try it. And then just randomly stands in the middle of the room. Pop.
Glitter.
Just straight up glitter.
Like glitter everywhere. And like, you know how glitter gets in everything. And I literally, the worst part, like no one cleaned it up. We just like trampled through the glitter the entire night. Like glitter everywhere.
Okay, and that was the first one.
I get
and then we
home.
shot
Yeah,
off
there's like
4 more.
4 more.
Was that not a sign like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this?
I literally found a piece of glitter from this glitter party, Christmas party, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like a shard
There
of
is-
gold glitter. And I was like, curse you, Ronnie.
Well, and let's talk further about this. There's a devious fellow named Ty Worthington
Yeah.
who decided, hey, we warned you.
He's sitting there, dude's doing nothing. He's just like takes a bunch of glitter
Putting
from
it
the
everywhere.
floor and then says, pushes it between the couch cushions and goes, dude, this is everywhere. Just kept pushing it.
Putting everywhere.
And then
Put a
these
bathtub.
two-
He's starting to put it all
These
over.
two started taking them, running into the bathroom, running into my pantry, running into every single room.
You will find glitter there
Just
for years.
everywhere.
It's amazing.
You were warned.
It's amazing.
Not you to be
And
you
to
two to be 11 years
Best part,
old
you
running
brought
around.
it into your own house. That's like
Honestly, and that night ended at 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., whatever time. Me and Slimmy were up until 5:45 cleaning the entire house. The amount of
You couldn't
shit
sleep.
that
You couldn't sleep until it was clean.
dude, I forget that. Like I was not gonna wake up the next day and then because I would have lived in it. 100%. Looking at it, I would have lived in it because I was
Difference between
there
men
was
and
enough
women.
alcohol in
The
me
difference between
and
men
in
and
her to be like, okay, let's just go. And then we cleaned it up. There's still so much confetti on top of a windowsill in my house because I don't have a ladder to reach up that high. To take
Ronnie
the
has like that
confetti.
little hutch.
Yeah, There's
Throwing it
much-
up there. You'll never get
There's
it.
so much in there.
That's so good.
The snap. I gotta send the snaps to Carter. Carter, when you edit this, tell me. I'll send you the snaps. You
Yeah.
gotta see. You gotta
So-
insert it in.
Other than you being a cool cat, Shonah, how do we know you from a weddings-ish standpoint? What do you do?
I don't know, like when I actually like formally met you guys,
I want to say Lake House days.
or was it probably maybe Vic? And anyways, so
Oh,
like
okay. I think this is how it
maybe
went.
Vic.
No, I think the very first time I met you. Oh no, that could have been after. That definitely was after because your mom's birthday that we did in Ninette.
Oh, that was definitely after.
That was definitely
No, it
after.
was birthday. Her barn burnt down.
Yes.
That one.
Is that
Sounds like a great party.
Yeah.
Barn burner.
Yeah, it was a barn. A barn funny
What a party
social.
that
It was
was.
barn. Literally. Oh my gosh.
Not funny. Sounds
so-
devastating.
no,
Sounds
so-
It was
devastating.
fine.
My
But
bad.
no, I feel like it was just before Lake House, whenever that was.
Maybe. Yeah. Probably. Oh, it was before Lake House. Because you DJ'd the Crash the Courtyard social
Yes.
thing for BU, and we're like, we know Ronnie.
Oh.
Ty
Ew.
and what's his name? God.
We're not going to
Blair.
speak his name. Oh. You cut that out.
Not give him the platform. They were just little girls standing in front, and they're just like
Little
"Ronnie!" Like,
girls?
just- yeah, they
They
were.
were.
That's how they were.
Oh, they were literally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hyping you up.
It was wild.
Yeah.
That was after Coleman Hill. Okay, and then I knew from Lake House, and then Dance Land and everything else.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of been in the event scene like literally my entire life.
Well, you just said you've been in event scene-ish about 10 years.
Yeah.
That means
Like literally 10 years. So like
and
I
that-
went to
that's high school. and-
that's literally high school. That's literally high school. Yikes. Don't.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yikes.
That was 15
Yikes.
years ago for me, so let's not go
Ugh.
there.
Hey,
I'm planning
hey.
my 10-year reunion right now, and that's like I'm procrastinating it because I don't want to believe that it's actually happening. Yeah, so I like graduated high school, and I went to hotel and restaurant management at ACC. When it was ACC,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
AC
AC.
now.
See now?
What a silly.
I'm an
rebrand.
ACC alumni.
Sorry, separate. I don't want to get too judgy. Do you think that's it? I understand the rebrand.
It's a
Understand.
bad acronym. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's been.
It sounds like air conditioner.
Well, well, no one calls it AC, but it's been ACC forever, and it will still be ACC for a long time because it's just.
Okay, so hear me out. Did you know that Brandon University was once Brandon College?
Yeah. BC.
Sure, that's a long time ago. So
Yeah, well, 20 years from now, we're going to be like, haha, remember when we called
okay,
it
well,
ACC?
yeah, I guess 20. It's going to take 20 years, but do you
Cinema
think it's
College.
a worthwhile?
You know what? I think the reasoning behind it was because
They're
like
not a community anymore.
Well, no, they are. Take the community out of it.
I
think the
I'm sick of this community stuff.
I think the community is already like they're already a part of the community, right? They don't need to say that they're a part of the community, and also like their 50. I don't know if you've ever looked at their 50-year master plan.
No.
Mind blowing.
Okay, well,
like
no.
I think it's like in line. Like there's so many things that are happening, and it's growing and it's building. I think there's so many things that are happening that
I think
this
there's a lot of
needed
smart
to
people over
happen.
there that
Yeah.
are doing it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But like, I think just there's also a negative connotation with community college versus a college.
Totally.
So,
and that's
just
also
trying to move away with
probably
it.
why. I mean, that's what I would have.
Anyways, so
Vouch
you
for
are before this new rebrand
Yes.
AC. You are
Yeah,
ACC alumni.
a Cinnabon Community College alumni. Took hotel and restaurant management, and the reason I took hotel and restaurant management is because it was the only program that I could find that had some inkling of events. Like I literally went there for the events portion because they did like Harvest on the Hill, which is their beer festival, and then Grey Owl, and then their wine festival and foundations. Like, it was the only course in Manitoba that like said we host events. So that's why I did it. Through that, I did a summer season at Lake Louise at the Fairmont, which is super cool. Has nothing to do with events.
That was cool.
It was very, very cool. If you can do it, I would recommend it. And then during my college, I started at the Victoria Inn as like a banquet server, bartender, and then I worked my way up to supervisor. And then by the time I graduated, I was the assistant banquets manager at the Vic Inn, which you probably didn't know that. Surprise.
I knew.
You probably knew that, yeah. And then
following along.
as soon as I graduated, I got my dream job in Clear Lake at Lake House as the internal and external events manager. So I got to like plan like music Sundays, and we do like boozy bingo, and then through the winter we'd host weddings and like wine and food pairing dinners, and things up my alley. And then a couple years into that job, they purchased Danceland, and so I built the Danceland program up after Mo Cruz stepped back, which was super, super cool, good learning experience. And then I popped over to Limitless Events, Pinnacle Event Rentals in February of 2020.
So is that a full switch?
A month before.
Literally a month before. A full switch, what do you mean?
Like it was like you quit
Yeah.
there to do this. It wasn't like a dabble. It was like, okay, I'm gonna full career switch here. Switch it up.
Yeah, it was literally a full switch. I think that I love the lake, don't get me wrong, so great, but I'm not one to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And banquets and venue management, like the couples are different, but like the space doesn't change, so I needed something that like was different, something that challenged me, something that, I'm doing different things consistently. So what better way to do that than to run a business, right? So, and then when I started Pinnacle, I was a second full-time employee.
Well, I feel like you were at the wedding expo that year, the 2020 wedding expo, which would have been like end of January. And that was kind of...
That was like it. Yeah, that was like the last kind of thing. Yeah. And then I went right into Pinnacle and building that up, Limitless. Well, obviously COVID happened. And then, because we had an inflatable division, Limitless Events, that kind of died through COVID. And then tents were... I never in my life thought that I would love tents as much as I do. Like, I never in my life coming out of college be like, you know what?
Tents.
I'm going to be a tent nerd.
Yeah.
And here I am. It's just like...
Most people don't think you can be a nerd about tents, but you can.
No. And it's like, I don't think people realize that, and you guys probably know this too, like, I don't know if people realize that like events are a career path, and it's like, it's a trade. Tents are a trade. Events are a trade. Very much like learn by doing with your hands, those types of things. You do need like knowledge, but
understanding physics, math.
Yeah. Engineer. Like I have to
Yeah.
engineer all our tents, and like weather,
Understand soil,
physics
weather,
with wind, soil testing and things like that. Like it's a lot more than just like we're
line
gonna
locates. And,
when people purchase tents off of Wayfair.
Okay. Tell me why. Hey, sorry, Pinnacle. I'm not worth the extra money here. I'm gonna go with Wayfair.
Or
Temu. I've had great experience with their couches. I'm sure their full event tents are great.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Actually, funny story. This is probably completely sad. Why are they not? They're not engineered. They're not structured. And when you're putting it up yourself, you're not thinking about physics or soil type or wind or anything like that. You're thinking, I got this at a reasonable price, which is totally fair. I got this at a reasonable price. It's going to cover our heads. We just need a little bit of shade for our day. I have had people like rent just chairs from us, and we do like a pickup program. So they came and they dropped their chairs off at the end of their rental. Like the wedding was over the weekend. And I'm like, hey, how was your weekend? Like, how did everything go? And he's like, yeah, chairs were great. That's great. Really windy though. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, did you have like a tent or anything like that? And he's like, yeah, we did. It's in that box right there because they blew away. I'm like, well, first, your tent's coming out of a box. That's probably a first red flag. But their tent, it was so windy that literally they didn't have a tent for their, like all of their stuff blew away because their tables were no longer covered because they didn't have a tent because their tent blew away. It was just like a ball. And it's like you spend so much time and so much money and energy on this one day. And it's not even just the wind. Like if there's a torrential downpour, a pop-up canopy or those garage canopies aren't going to hold a bunch of rain.
Crazy.
Like they're,
Talk about horror stories. I've got a tent horror story.
Yeah.
It'll perfectly fit with this.
Yeah,
but
we'll
it's
get
great.
that too.
But
So-
no, well, it will
So
get in a
you
second.
have been, Pinnacle, I guess, from
Yep.
5, is it 5 years?
this is my, sixth, this will be my 6th summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
And give us a Coles notes on terms of what has changed in your role over that kind of course of years. Has it been the same from the beginning? Or has it grown?
No. Well, I started as an event specialist, whatever the heck that meant. Ty just kind of hired me. If you know Ty, if you've ever met Ty,
That's a made up position.
yeah, it was very much
That's a made up name. What's Thai? What's a Thai?
I basically started and it was just basically like, okay, in my experience, I had built up a couple of roles, right? Like when I started at Lake House, it was no one had done that role before. So I just kind of had to like figure it out, make it what I needed to be. So that was kind of like this role. It was like, hey, like I know I need help. I don't know what I need help with. So come on and figure it out. And so started as like an event specialist. So I don't really even know what I did the first year. I just kind of puttered around and learned. The second year, I took on more responsibility with operations, like scheduling, inventory, all those types of things. We started hiring like marketing and building our website and blah, 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 blah. And then it just has kind of built up to the point. I'm now the general manager, whatever that means. And now we're opening up a second location in Winnipeg, which I'll be a part of, which is exciting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it seems like Pinnacle has always been, not always, but starting around that, pandemic point, the events company. But you guys cover pretty much, like we try to be a one-stop shop for like the event service side of things in terms of photo booth, music, film, photo, like all that kind of stuff. The day of, things like that. You guys are almost a one-stop shop for all the, I don't know.
Infrastructure.
Oh, is that the word?
That's the word.
Infrastructure. So tell you that, because like next thing I know, you guys, it's like, oh, you got inflatables, and next thing you know, it's the tables, chairs, tents, it's all that stuff. Oh, and then you got bathrooms. Like,
Yeah. You just bought a sign company.
yeah, exactly. So you're all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like the best way. We provide the foundation for your event. So like anything that you need, like we're not going to be there on the day of your event unless you like need us to.
Mm-hmm.
But like tents, tables, chairs, linens, decor. We have washrooms, portable washroom, trailers, washroom, like porta potties. What else do we have?
Drapes.
Drapes, lighting.
Inflatables, sort of a side quest in terms of what inflatables was the main quest, and then inflatable and side quest. Part of what being able to do along with it, and because Ty loves
The inflatables are just they're like the ugly stepchild at this point. And like we're moving into a bunch of like furniture, like luxury furniture, and like lounge setups, bars, bar backs.
cool.
Yeah, just elevating the event scene in Manitoba is the goal.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say something. I want you to tell me why I'm right or I'm wrong.
Okay.
And Ronnie can kind of hop on this. I want you to just take my lead on this, and you give me a different scenario after this. So I run an event company, or I'm a DJ. I just have the same, like, I've been to enough socials. It's the same music every time. I don't really need to change what I'm playing for music. I imagine with events, it's the same. You have all these chairs, you have all these tables. Once you have it all, you're good, right?
You're so right. So right. So wrong. So wrong. It's really interesting because like Brandon market versus Winnipeg market, I'm learning are two completely different things. Winnipeg, you're dealing with planners, right? And planners are making sure that your event is not the same as someone else's event versus Brandon and area is more of a self
DIY.
Like do it ourselves, right? I'm going to order the exact same thing as my sister had for her wedding 3 years ago because it worked and this is all we need kind of thing. So I think it really depends on the person, but at the same time, like your event needs to be your event, right? Your wedding needs to be your wedding, and you do what you need to do. Weddings are so expensive. Events are so expensive. I get it. But like, switch up the colors or something. Sure. Like, let's do something different.
But then also there's the maintenance of equipment too, right? You're gonna have stuff break. You're gonna have things.
And in a sense too, it comes out to we talk about it all the time. It's like how can people come to your event and go, we went to John and Jane's event, it was the best time we ever had, and not think about, oh, this is what they did at John and Jane's, they're doing this again. You don't want that. You want it to be unique to who you are and what your story is and whatever your company story is or whatever your vision was. You have to want it to be unique to you, and trying to, even though it's the same, I guess for us it's the same music, could be the same songs, but when it applied and how it's applied is different. Same ideas, the same chairs, same tables, similar linens, but it's how it's applied and how you personalize it to the client matters.
Yes and no too, because like your success is providing that experience. Our success, like a successful event for us is still providing that experience, but when something goes wrong on your end, it's different than when something goes wrong on our end, right? So if your experience with us is bad, it's probably because it's really windy and the walls are flapping and you're hearing this consistently during your speeches, or there's a puncture in the tent and it's raining in the tent, or super windy and your poles are pulling, those types of things, which if that was happening during your event would be detrimental, right? Would be terrible.
Collectively a bigger issue.
It's like an ambiance, right? The ambiance is gone if you're getting rained on sitting at your table versus you guys are like the actual like day of.
Yeah.
But how responsible do you guys feel? Like what? Hey, like it was great. The tent worked, but like it was just a really tough day.
So here's a little spin off of that. If somebody puts, like you were hired to put a tent up, right? You can't control everything around you, right? The weather, anything else. People expect, okay, I want a tent so I can be in it, so I'm away from the elements. And once you're done, cool, thanks for the tent. It was great. It worked great. But what in that factor are the people not thinking about that you guys think about when you set up the tent?
Your tent needs to be on a level ground, or we need to know about it ahead of time so that we can level it out.
Right.
Soil type is always, and I can kind of like combine both of those. So soil type can make or break how successful your tent's going to be. We put contingencies into place, like we put extra stake bars, we use extra staking methods, and we do a soil test. So every time we go on site, we're doing there's a study from it through the I think it's IIFA about soil types and how different types of soil hold different amounts of pressure. Because all of your pole tents specifically are
pressure
tension tents,
yeah.
right? So if your stakes aren't holding, your tent's not going to stay up. Yeah. So soil type is super important, and if it's slipping out or if it's a poor soil type, we have to put more stakes in, which we bring contingency, like or put a stake plate in or something like that. When it comes to walls are a little bit trickier. Now that we have two different styles of tents, so we have a pole tent and a structure tent, which is like our Clara tent,
yes,
a
like
big
frames.
clear span,
like
beautiful frame
frames,
tent. The walls are taut.
Yeah.
So wind's hitting that, and you're not getting that swooping of a pole tent. So right there, and our clients going forward will be like are told that. So it's kind of like your pole tent. Yeah, your pole tent is now your basic tent, and your structure tent is that next level, right?
Tent,
if you are so worried about walls flapping, let's maybe look at a structure. If you're worried about those poles in the middle of the tent, let's look at a structure tent. If you're worried about low ceiling heights, let's look at a structure tent, right? So now we have that solution to, your standard
you cover your bases
problems.
just because, like those problems are unavoidable in certain scenarios, right? It's just like, hey, weather's weather.
Yep.
Drunk wedding guests or drunk wedding guests and all those things like that. So you just offer that ahead of time.
Yeah.
And
structure tent doesn't have those stake lines, so no tripping hazards.
Sure.
Like but again, that comes at an additional cost because you're literally putting up a temporary structure.
And then you have
right?
to drill deeper and put the main frames in all the way deep as possible.
But they're beautiful.
They are. They sure are.
Yeah.
So what's new in the tent world that you're looking forward to? Other than I guess the structure tents or something, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the structure tents are the coolest on my side.
Yeah.
Just because I think there's like 2 structure tents in Manitoba.
Right.
We now have the largest quantity of structure tents.
Cool.
So that means that we can like bridge, we can do 2 tents side by side and do a bridge in between kind of thing. And do some really unique layouts with them. We bought a sign company. So that means that we can start doing custom work, like on the vinyl itself.
Right.
So we can start going into corporate activations and, you know, those types of things.
Gotcha.
It's not, I mean, weddings wise, it's not necessarily the tent, but we have the vinyl printer now, so we can do custom floors like we did for the gala, or like do custom dance floors with the monograms and stuff like that, which is super popular, but hasn't been done in Manitoba or southwestern Manitoba, which is exciting. But yeah,
and so in terms of when you're looking at, you know, going from one thing to another, is it in collectively when a client comes to you and goes, okay, I need this, how do you guys look at, okay, what else can we do for you, or do you just, okay, here you wanted a tent, here's a tent? How does that process work for you?
I think it depends on the client. A lot of like wedding clients, for example, will come to us and be like, hey, I want to have my wedding on the farm, I don't know where to start, right? And then I'm sure you guys have that as well, right?
Probably not the farm. No, I'm kidding.
But and then, you know, we work, okay, well, how much space do you have, right? How many people are you having, blah, blah, blah. And then we have all of those processes built in. There's a guide on our website that tells you what the size of tent you need based on how many people are coming, which is super easy. And then all of our information is on our website. So it's a lot of times it's easy for people to like scroll and kind of have an idea of what they're doing. But we do it all from like 0 to 100, you know. Same thing with corporate clients. Some corporate clients call us and be like, hey, I want to do this event. What do I need? Or there's the opposite where, you know, we're doing a branding project for Crown Royal for this weekend in Winnipeg. So we have a bar. They call us, hey, we need this bar. This is our branding. This is the timeline. This is what needs to happen. Mr. Beast, same thing, right? Hey, I need this. This is exactly what I need.
And he was telling me about it, like, I got the call Friday, and then they're like, I need the Sunday. And he's like, I'm shipping this out of Edmonton to here, and then I got to drive it over to Winnipeg.
And then they just bumped up it was supposed to be delivered on Sunday, and they just bumped the delivery to tomorrow. So, but yeah, I digress. It's a lot of, this week, I don't know what's in the water this week, or like, I don't know if it's because the sun is shining or it's above 0 degrees, but like,
Stuff's moving.
Things are happening. It's crazy.
Okay, so let's move on. Another one.
Sorry.
No, this is great. We could. I know
we could talk about tents.
I know you want to keep talking about
forever.
Tents, but you guys do more than tents. Let's talk about like. I noticed you guys do. I think weddings, you guys do a lot of like table setting, like that sort of thing. And I think that's
tabletop.
Tabletop is that's the
the official
it's tabletop.
That's the official name.
That's the division.
Official name, yeah.
And I think
it's actually event wares. The event wares division, but we'll call it tabletop. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry, squirrel.
Olivia saw. So I'm having a wedding. I just need some plastic forks and plastic knives and just that's all I need. It's just a quick.
Probably not gonna get them for Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Okay, but
we don't do plastic.
Okay, well, why is what you offer better than that? Like I think a lot of people, there's a balance between wedding clients. Like obviously budget. They're like, I need the bare minimum. Or somebody like, I want everything, right? Like.
And there's a wide spectrum in the middle.
Yeah, what do you?
Yeah, well, we have a wide range of offerings, right? Like we have your basic. We don't have plastic cutlery. If you want to get plastic cutlery, get it from
Walmart.
Well, yeah, or Dollar Tree or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. For people who want to eat with like proper cutlery, we have, and again in that range, we have your basic silverware, and then we have some more like luxury stuff if you're going for the full-on vibe, you know, the gold and the black and the copper and all that jazz.
The charger plates.
And it's like, and it's all buildable, right? So same thing like with our dinner, like our plates and our glassware. Like we have our classic line, which is like a basic buffet plate and a basic water glass and a basic wine glass, and then you move all the way up to like our Riddell, which is crystal glassware. I know, bougie. Wow. It's my favorite, but it really depends on what the
vibe is.
Like each piece has its purpose, right? And it's up to each couple to decide what their purpose, like what they want.
And do you like having conversations about that with them, or is it just kind of like, again, like a website thing where you have the nice organized pictures of what it looks like?
Again, it completely depends. I find it really I'm a touch, see, feel person. So like we have a showroom where you can come in and like, you know, put the tablecloth down, put all of the cutlery and stuff in, and kind of build it up. Because everything's different, and the chairs and everything. But then some people just do it online because they see a Pinterest board, and we have exactly what's on their Pinterest board, so we can make that happen. I love Pinterest boards. Some people hate Pinterest boards. I love Pinterest boards.
I've never had Pinterest downloaded. I've never had it downloaded.
You're both in the wedding industry.
I know. I've got Pinterest boards.
Yeah.
I've got Pinterest boards and stuff too.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm not a good.
That says that you don't know the difference between paisley and plaid.
No, I don't. Paisley and plaid. It sounds like what
Brad.
It sounds like what middle-aged white women are naming their kids, but
Paisley and plaid.
Are middle-aged white women having children?
No, now I don't know. Later now.
God.
I can't afford children, Joey.
Paisley with the Paisleigh.
Yeah.
PH at the end.
P-A-I-Z. What?
A's.
So
Maze.
You've been in the industry now for 10 years. Across the board. 2 stories that you're like, shit, I can't never forget these 2
horror stories. We've got requests for more horror stories.
Yes,
you know,
people
love
it.
From a different
People
perspective.
love it.
So I have one loaded up.
I have one
loaded
too.
up.
I have one. I can't remember. I have one, and this is from my venue coordinator days. So we had. I've been waiting to tell this story.
Please.
Okay,
All right, it's a podcast, for the record podcast exclusive, ladies and gentlemen, right here. It was like a wedding of like 80 people max. It was a super small wedding. Weed wasn't even legal, but everyone was high off their boat and, you know, drinking. It was good. It was a good time. Everyone was having a good time.
The old 1-2 punch.
Everyone was having a good time. Everyone was having a little bit of too good of a time.
Okay.
And so it was time to cut the cake, and I think it was Mark Willis was the photographer. And I go to Mark and I was like, because Mark is, if you know Mark's like he's got it. Like he has a vision and he's going to make the vision happen.
And extremely good looking.
And extremely good looking.
Just want to point that out, Mark.
Woo! Just kidding. Sorry, Sydney.
It is common knowledge.
It is common knowledge.
Yes.
The world knows. But he's a great photographer. And the cake was like kind of off to the side off of a counter. And he's like, we can't do the cake cutting here. And I was like, Mark, I don't know if you've seen our bride and groom lately, but I don't know if I want to do the cake cutting anywhere else. I don't know if I want to give him a knife, to be honest. He's like, no. He's like, I have a good idea. He's like, we're going to pull the cake into the middle of the dance floor. We'll do the cake cutting and then we'll pull it off. And I'm like, you get that feeling and you're like, this isn't a good idea. But Mark told me to, so I'm going to do it anyways. And so we pull table into the middle of the dance floor, and like the dance floor is like the size of this room. Yeah. Like it's like a 10 by 10. It's like ice cream shop.
Yeah.
At Lake House. Like they're a retail space now. 10 by 10 space. Put the cake in the middle of the dance floor. Everyone's around it. You know, everyone's vibing, having a good time. They cut the cake. Great, you know, stuff in the face. And I was like, okay.
So they got the pictures.
I'm like, they got the pictures. I'm like, okay. I'm waiting for them to like forget about the cake for me to run in and grab it and leave it. But I'm not going to like ruin their time, right? I'm not going to be like, give me your cake. You know, you're an adult. I don't know if you know. Actually, Joey, what's in the middle of a 2-tier wedding cake?
There's something for structure, is there not?
Ronnie, what's in the middle of a 2-tier wedding cake? For those of you who don't know, there is typically at least one wooden skewer in the middle of a 2-tier wedding cake.
Okay, no, specific. I'm like, there's
and so we're having a good time. I'm literally sitting on the edge of my, I'm literally sitting on the edge of the dance floor, getting ready for the cake at any moment. Groom standing there, and he kind of makes motion like I'm gonna headbutt the cake, and so he kind of makes this motion. He's like, and then he's like, ha ha ha, like ha, and he didn't do it. I'm like, oh my god, thank God. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna grab this cake. I'm gonna grab the cake. Groomsman comes up behind him, grabs his head into the cake.
Bang.
Thank God he was so drunk and so high. Hit his, lit under his eye, like literally 1 inch, and it would have like stabbed his eye. So guy keeps partying.
Didn't nothing happen?
No, he's like, I'm like, yo, you should probably go to the doctor. Like, we probably go to Emerge. Like, we're in Onino. Like, it's gonna take a minute to get to a doctor anywhere. Like, no, I'm good. And I think the mother of the bride and mother of groom was just like, I'm a retired nurse. We're good. Well, I'm like, okay, say less. I was like, this. I have the cake. I have the cake. It literally has blood and flesh on the wooden skewer. Gross. Okay, so anyways, fast forward. He parties through the night.
They froze the cake and ate it.
No. So parties through the night, whatever. They come down to like pack up, say goodbye, pay the bill. And I was like, where's your husband? And he's like, oh, he went to the emergency room this morning. And I'm like, no shit.
Holy smokes.
And then they asked for the wedding cake. They asked for the rest of the wedding cake.
They wanted it.
And I was like, respectfully, I threw that out.
Respectfully.
It was a biohazard. Like, there was blood on it. Like, you can get mad at me. I'm not paying for it. But yeah, that's my horror story. It was and like the best part is I like ran into the bride and groom, or I ran into the bride like at a wedding show or a show or trade show or something, like maybe a year later. They're fine. Everything's fine. He got to keep his eye.
Great.
But like literally it was like the bone like right underneath your eye. And if it was like, he could have stabbed his
That's
eyeball.
crazy.
So don't
Don't
headbutt your
ever.
head in cake. Don't
If the cake
headbutt
is
your wedding
over
cake.
more than one tier,
No,
do not
at all.
headbutt
Just
your
don't
cake.
do it.
Don't do it.
Even if it's one tier, please just don't.
Unless if you're Steve Aoki. He will
throw
throw
the
a cake
cake.
at
Well,
you.
It's funny, ha until someone loses an eye. Literally.
Crazy. Yeah.
Literally.
That's
So that's my
wild.
horror story.
God. Yeah, like still shivers to this day.
Truly.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Is yours is good?
Mine involves potential injury to guest. Yeah.
Love
yeah,
that.
Yeah. But so this actually came from this past year, Chris's party. I'm all for unique ways, not as unique ways, but just fun ways of calling your guests for dinner. There's so many ways to do it, right? There's we do the rock, paper, scissors one often, trivia, the old, I don't know, the trivia about the bride, or check on the table that has the most this, or like there's so many different ways. And this one they did the old call up to the front. If you have first one to bring me car keys, or first one to bring me
Scavengers.
yeah, scavenger hunt style thing, a Q-tip, this and that, right?
Q-tip.
Yeah, Q-tip. Oh yeah, some weird. Oh yeah, they'll just do random stuff like that. Most likely people don't have, like nail clippers, but there's always
No, someone's
one.
like,
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I've got one of those on me all the time. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Aunt Shirley.
Yeah, I've always wanted to host one of those and like put something that really should not be there, but I never want to say it just in case it is.
Okay.
That's
Right? Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, any live explosives? Yep. Yeah.
Firecrackers.
Exactly. But anyways, in this case, someone asked for a pacifier, right? Lots of
Kids.
well, no, there's no kids.
Babies.
It was a Christmas party.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right.
It was a Christmas party. So no kids were there, but there's lots of, there's a couple kids there, but lots of moms, right? They might have an extra pacifier kicking around. Okay, so this case, actually, there was a mom with a baby.
Yeah.
She decides, so here, let me paint the picture. It's a big space. So they have one person on this side, one person on this side to bring your items to, just so it's even, right? So this person's over here, and the item is pacifier. Okay. She has her baby in her arms. She's like, oh, she's got the pacifier in the baby's mouth. She's like, okay. She gets up fast, right? It's a bit of a race. You want to eat. She picks up her baby. She's holding it up here. She's like, she is running full sprint towards the person who's collecting the items. All right. This is another side note. I'm over in the corner with my DJ setup. But sometimes they'll say, hey, eat early, right? So I decided to eat early that day. Sometimes I wait till the end, but sometimes it's nice to just get 8 as the wedding employee, just so that later when things are needed, you're not full of mouth. So I'm in the buffet line, right close by. I get a front row seat to this woman sprinting with her child, catching a toe and falling with her baby in her arms, like up. This baby is very far away and it's high up. So it happened so fast but so slow. So you could tell she had to decide what to do, because if you have this wasn't like a newborn baby, but I want to say it was old enough to be.
You don't shake the baby.
No, it was old enough to be.
Wait a minute. We'll come back to that.
What? It was old enough to be in a high chair, and like on its own, it was grabbing some food. So I don't know what.
Oh,
like
so 2 years? 2 years?
No, not 2 years. Like it was less than a year old.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't walk.
I could not walk.
No,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Could not walk.
Or else the baby would have ran with the pacifier in its mouth.
Yeah, exactly. The baby goes up there.
Right. That would have worked.
Okay, so she's going and is falling. So you have an option, I guess. When something's happening, you like it's all happening slow motion in your head. So you could tell that she was like, I'm gonna fall, but when you fall, you want to protect your face. She was gonna go face first in the floor, but her hands were full with a baby, and didn't really know what to do, because either she lets her face hit the floor and like protects the baby, like the guy who has the beer in his hand, not spill the beer. She had to like protect the baby and take one straight to the dome, or like the more I guess humanistic thing to like protect the baby, right, and potentially fall on your baby. She did neither, okay, and made too late of a decision. She's coming down. She just kind of like let go / threw her baby. She fell down. It was like a fall forward. And as she was like just before, it was just kind of like this gentle toss of this baby. So she didn't fall on it. Okay. So this baby's rolling. Like at least
Like a hot potato.
At least 4 or 5 feet. She still hits her face on the floor, and I'm like
baby's
literally got a
rolling.
spoonful of mashed potatoes. I'm like,
Oh!
the room is big enough that like, so they obviously, everybody around screams of horror, watch some lady throw her baby in effort to get her table to eat first at the buffet. Right? They're like trying to deal with that, but the room's big enough. The MC at the other end doesn't see. He's just like kind of like, oh, whatever, So the guy, like, they pull out of the room. It was the Grand Salon, so they pull out of there, and they're like tending to the mom and the baby, make sure everything's okay. Crying, obviously the baby got dropped. So the guy's like, I don't know, his name is Daryl or something like that. The other caller, Daryl, you ready? We got the next one. Daryl, wait. There goes Daryl leaving again. Like he just not aware what was going on. Come on, am I the only one working here?
So they didn't get to eat, is what I'm hearing.
Well, eventually they did, but like they just went off. Like I don't know. It was just kind
Imagine
of an awkward
after
pause.
all that and you still don't get to eat.
Well, I think she was like making
my
sure that the
baby.
baby was like, yeah.
Totally fair.
Crazy, but like it was just so funny. The guy didn't see what happened. Like when you're unaware of the actual issue, so you're just like,
trying to make
what's
fun
the
of
deal with
this
this?
Yeah.
And had no idea. Come on, guys, let's continue on. Let alone
Christ.
that was crazy. Like just to watch that, like right place, right time for me as a spectator. Luckily, everybody was okay. The baby was eating mashed potatoes later with its hands, and it was okay. But it was just like, of course, it was one of those things you see happen. Those things you had that feeling in your stomach.
Yeah.
When you saw like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I saw her get up and you knew. You're like, no. It couldn't happen. It did. It did.
Dang.
It did.
God.
Okay, does
Okay.
yours involve the penetration of eye sockets or throwing babies
Let's
across
not-
floors?
Let's not
Baby
say
bowling? Steering?
penetration
Baby
of eye
bowling.
sockets sounds so bad.
Penetrating of eye sockets or baby bowling, you choose.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
If we're gonna go with the title, I want to come up with a title for
Yeah, it's not the most stable
It's
table.
fine.
what do I call
don't-
it?
don't- we'll come
Okay, you
up
know
with
what?
it later.
We'll come up with the title later.
Yeah,
all right.
don't spoil this.
The year is 2015.
Oh, great.
Okay,
That was 10 years ago.
that is 10 years ago.
Graduated.
Also me. We were the same age.
10 years ago. The wedding is in July. July
Hot.
24th,
Oh.
5th, 6th, somewhere around the lines. Okay.
Pause. if you guys are going to complain about heat at your wedding and you booked your wedding for the end of July or the start of August,
You need a tent.
Yeah.
Just that.
You need a tent. You need something.
So this
AC.
involves a tent.
Oh.
Okay.
My tent?
No.
Great.
But before it was but it became after.
Oh, Good Heart. No,
Yes.
not good. Was it Good Heart or was it
Good
Nights?
Heart. Good Heart.
Okay.
Plus? Sorry. Gotta go.
Okay. I am part of this wedding, and the couple have Jenna and I forget his name.
Oh, like literally Good Heart.
Good Hearts.
Roger.
It's their wedding,
Oh, okay.
and they bought a tent. They bought 2 tents.
I love how we try to keep it real anonymous, like, you know, and you're just like, yeah, no, it's
Well, the
this
name
is the
of the
name.
company's in
Here's
there.
a credit
The
card.
company's-
Credit card number
bought-
too, if you
Pinnacle
want that.
bought
Legal
out
and description.
Good Heart. Pinnacle bought out Good Heart, so
fine.
it's all
It's fine.
under
Go
one
ahead, go ahead.
company.
Sorry.
So, it's their wedding.
Okay.
Again,
And full disclosure, they did not buy a Wayfair tent. They bought a
the
proper
tent.
event tent.
We're again phenomenal planning sessions. I'm there personally to take care of the wedding. Beautiful day, hot day. Ceremony happens outside. This is out in the acreage of the grandparents. Very small house, but like massive area.
Great spot for a tent.
Super spot. A super amazing spot. And then it's sort of on a little bit of a hill, so you can sort of see a valley around. It's a beautiful spot. Okay, just out the Boys' Main.
I think the spot's beautiful.
What?
I think
He
the
said it.
spot's
He
beautiful.
said it. He
Yeah,
said it.
it was very beautiful.
Keep going. Jeez.
There's about 160 guests invited. Again, the day went great. Again, everybody was hot. I was in a suit jacket, shirt, and pants, and I took off my suit jacket. That's how hot it was. So
Wow.
he knows the importance of why I leave my jacket on. It was hot. So in this time, I only have my Civic, the Civic that's parked outside.
Okay,
That's my going to events. Everything fits in there. I was truly a mobile disc jockey. Okay, we set everything up. Everything is rolling well. Receptions started. People are eating, and then 7:30 rolls around. Speeches started. Everything is going well. Speeches just wrapped up. Flaps are open. Some of the flaps are open because it was a hot day. Some of the flaps are open. The time is 7:45. Dance floor is open. First dance is done. Everything is good. People are dancing. I still remember to this day, they wanted to get the party started soon. So my request went Eminem, 50 Cent, DMX. Okay?
Bam, bam,
This is 8 o'clock.
All right.
I get a call from the sister of the bride. Or the sister of the bride comes over to me and says, hey, we have an issue. My boyfriend's just driving out to Brandon, driving north, and a massive storm's coming. That's what he says. So can you tell everybody, if you're planning on driving, just keep an eye on, just know that this is happening. Cool. Hey guys, just got news. Just if you're planning on leaving here shortly, just know there's a storm coming this way, so just prepare yourself accordingly. But why would you leave? The party just started.
Of course.
Let's keep going. Bam, 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 bam. Party up. DMX is on. Okay? I walk out, and I see this pitch black.
Shelf cloud.
Like black.
Yeah.
When I say black, as black as that curtain. You just
There's a
realized-
storm.
you
Oh,
just- yeah,
my.
the storm. It looked like a scene as if the Dementors were coming.
Oh wow.
It was
Eerie.
black,
Hate
eerie,
Dementors.
and black.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, it's gonna go that way.
Says every optimistic event person ever.
100%.
We'll be okay.
It'll go
Your days-
around.
it's
I
fine.
walk back to the tent. On to the next song. I remember "Shut Up and Dance." Walk off the moon. Whatever came
Walk
off.
the Moon, yeah.
Well, yeah, put the song on. People are dancing. Flap, 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 flap on the tent everywhere. I'm like, what is happening? And it's loud. It's louder than my speakers now. Like it's flapping. It is flapping.
Okay, keep going.
I come out. The clouds are closer.
This is the most dramatic story I've ever in my life.
I'm
I'm kind
Listen.
of spooked.
Listen.
Sorry.
Linda, listen.
You're not listening right now.
Keep our comments till after. Keep going. Just
Your stories involved individual people
Just
and
keep
a baby.
Just go. Come on.
Okay?
There's a flapping.
A lot of flapping. I come out. The clouds are a lot closer now.
Yeah, good.
And I guess, guys, it is very windy outside. If you're planning on driving and I feel like the storm's coming, so just make sure you take a bit and let it pass, and then drive. And now people are sort of tensed. You can sense the tense in there. Can't Touch This by MC Hammer's playing, but nobody's on the dance floor. And then
Keep going.
and then
This is crazy.
Keep going. You gotta keep going.
I feel like ironic because Can't Touch This, but there's a storm coming. Okay.
We're on like a private viewing of a book right now or something like this.
And they were roommates.
Keep going.
Okay.
Get to the sword. Oh gosh.
This needs to be
Does
its own.
does the storm come? Actually, we're gonna do a part 2. Have to wait till next week. Heck.
Okay.
This is gonna be its own mini.
Oh man. Gosh, go ahead, please.
And then now, the dad of the groomsmen, all of them come in. They're like, everybody out, get to the house. So grandma's house is like 100 yards away. Just run to the house. Everybody out. I'm like, and then he's yelling over there. The groom's yelling to me. He's like, let's pack your shit. Put it in the car. Pack it. And now everybody's out. Within seconds, everybody was out. Groomsmen. So imagine a rectangular tent with poles. There's, I don't know, fucking 11 poles on the side that are in the ground. I'm in the corner of a rectangular tent, one corner of the rectangular tent. Every groomsman is holding on to every other pole to the ground, just full weight down, just so I can get my shit out of there, right? And this time I didn't have a DJ table or anything. It was just a plastic table with a case of controller, off. Everything was a little faster. I could get that done. So pack up. I closed everything, locked everything, put my backpack in, all the lights are in. I put it all outside the tent faster once I packed it. Now I'm trying to run it into the car. And now the wind is picked up. It's starting to pour. I take everything close to my car. One of the groomsmen come and help me put it next to the car. They're like, let's put it in. And I'm looking for my keys. Oh. I locked the keys inside the controller, packed it, and it's right next to it. Now, by the time I can open it, it's not possible. But I knew it was inside the case after the fact. While I was in the panic of packing everything, I forgot where the keys were. So I'm running back into the tent.
Oh boy.
My car was parked, let's say 30 meters away from the tent, running back in.
Who uses meters?
Meters, yards.
Yards.
Used
I've
Metric.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in Canada.
Yeah.
We could use every metric possible.
Car was a stone throw away from the tent.
Car was about 3 minutes away from where I was. So I run over to the tent, and the groomsman who was with me is like, "Where are you going in there for?" I'm like, "I think my key's in there." So he's like, and then I think at some point he left. I walk in. The moment I get into the tent, all I see is 3 of the groomsmen just absolutely lifting off with the poles they were holding in their hand. And I see the groom who was in the middle also sort of lifting off with the poles.
Whoa.
I'm like, the tent is coming off on one end, off the ground. And and again, these poles have about, I don't know, 7, 6 inches of just spike at the bottom of it. I literally miss a spike. It felt so slow. It was all so fast, but it was so slow. It was like I'm seeing the spike, just the very end of that pole, rectangular pole, just past me, go this way, and then I'm covered inside. I look in, everybody's uprooted, and I see the spike come in, all of us inside the tent, every single one of us, and pushed back at least 6-7 meters, away from where we were.
You got tangled in the vinyl.
Inside.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And I realize what's happening, but again, keep in mind, I'm still at the edge of the tent, towards the end of it. So I was able to, I knew exactly, I saw a little bit later and just got out of there. Now, the groomsman who left me is coming in. The dad wasn't in the tent. He was just getting everybody out. He come in. Everybody's looking for the groom. Josh was his name. Everybody's looking for the groom. And then there's groomsmen coming out. Everybody's fine. And it's pouring. All my shit, I look at my car. It's just outside. I was just like, I guess it is what it is. Run into the house. All the guys came in. Everybody went in. I'm just like, where did my keys go? And then I was like, oh, it's inside the controller, you idiot. And then I just looked out through the door. There's people in there screaming.
You guys are so lucky that no one got hurt. Like, so lucky.
And it was, we were all in there and the whole thing.
And no one got hurt, right?
No one got hurt. Okay. So
Wild.
we come out, and now it's dark. Like, it was 8:30. This all happening between 8 and 8:30, 8:45. And then it got dark, like nighttime, like immediately. So we come out. We all have just truck lights shining where the tent was. Nothing. Tables toppled, decor gone, glasses, everything out. So, and then they moved the tent away. They put the poles away, and then I went back to look at my stuff. It's just water pouring out of everything. The controller box was okay, so I put it on, took the car keys out, and then put it back in.
So did they keep partying though?
So after that, they pulled out.
Bam.
I legitimately, I legitimately wanted to see, but there was no power anywhere for us to work with.
Yeah.
Dang.
So they bought out the barbecue and they started grilling hot dogs, and then everybody just started doing their own parts of cleaning up and stuff. It started. I still have that photo on my Facebook. It started very well, beautifully well, and then it ended so bad.
That's wild. That's a really good point, though. Tents are not emergency shelters.
Yes.
So if there is any type of severe weather, like 61 kilometers or higher, get out of the tent. Like, you're so lucky that no one got hurt. And, like, I know the stakes that they used were, like, a foot, maybe a foot and a half. Ours are 40 inches. Yeah. So if that thing's coming out of the ground, there's probably not just one, there's probably three, and they are going to whack you.
Like, and
like
some
all
of the guys
poles
were
are
holding
metal,
on to,
and like you get whacked.
I saw the pole pass me so fast, so vividly, and then from the side I got swept to the side. That's wild. And then fell, and then
just let the tent go. If the tent's going, just let it go. Unless it's going to hurt someone.
The thing is, they were waiting for me to pack up. I was the last one in there, and the groomsmen were holding it.
You're the reason the tent.
I'm the reason.
Yeah. Guys, I pride myself into being a descriptive storyteller. That was unbelievable.
I cried.
I was like, man, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, man, I got another story to tell. Holy
Just
smokes.
Kidding.
Let's just tell you, like,
can we cut that off? I think that needs to be its own.
It was
like,
the fact
episode.
that you repeated all the details. So you started, and you really wanted to make sure we knew how good of a day it was. It was beautiful, indeed, right? Yeah. It was a beautiful day.
If you need a storyteller for your wedding,
it was
Ronnie's your guy.
Really, holy smokes!
You can't. If I'm gonna paint a picture with words, I'm gonna have to really Bob Ross that shit.
You didn't paint it. You slathered, plastered.
I had to Bob Ross that shit. It was so well.
Incredible.
It was good.
But that was great. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
That was my whole story.
It's on my brain. I'm gonna tell a 2-minute version because it'll be less. I went to one. It was really hot that day. It was in a tent. Ceremony was outside. Reception inside the tent. Old lady.
Oh, I thought you were gonna just say my story short.
No,
okay, never mind.
No,
I'm like, why is he repeating my story short?
Old lady. Grandma, she actually lived at the personal care home in the town, but she came, and she was a little nervous to come because it was a full-time oxygen. But she came, she went out there, and they pulled her inside the tent. They didn't want her sitting in her wheelchair the whole time. They wanted to put her in a chair. So in order to do that, they had to unhook the oxygen and get her, and then sit her over there. So apparently, she had good spirits, seemed, healthy, other than the fact that she was 90 and was on oxygen full-time. But she was, chipper, whatever. She was got herself up and helped herself in there, whatever, and... Like, okay, well, we'll just put your wheelchair in the corner. Okay, you're good? Because she had to unhook herself and hook herself back up to oxygen. And he goes, yeah, no, I'm fine. Hey, what's on the dinner menu for tonight? Say, make a small talk, whatever. He goes, oh, it's roast beef and such and such. Oh, good. She's all talking, and apparently she fumbled with her oxygen and couldn't hook back up her oxygen in time. And he went off to do that, and they just kind of let. So I'm setting up my DJ setup, and I look over, and literally I just see 90-year-old grandma just tip right off her chair, face plant into the ground. I'm like,
Help!
Yeah, I'm like, grandma's on the ground.
Excuse me, everyone. We got grandma on the ground. I repeat, we got a grandma on the ground.
His first instinct was, let me go help the grandma. Oh, wait, what? Like, let me help?
Yeah.
No.
Grandma on the ground.
Grandma's on the ground.
I was like, grandma on the ground. Like, literally, it was from myself to you away. Like, there's a family kind of dealing with other commotion. It was not far away. But I'm like, grandma's on the ground. Guys, and they're like, what? Oh, my goodness. Like,
Grandma's on the ground.
yeah, it was just like, yeah, there's like, oh, and then whatever. And sure enough, the guy who like took over, like, it was just one of those perfect storm things. Like, he was just kind of chuckling, putting the wheelchair away, talking to some other family members, this and that. But like, she just, for whatever reason, fumbled it, couldn't do it. He's on the ground, CPR happening.
Oh my God.
It was a whole thing. She was resuscitated. She was okay. Like, they got oxygen back happening. But it was like, I just was like, I saw crime. Like, I saw almost someone die in front of me. Like, I was like having to sit down. I paused everything in there. And literally, when she was fine again, she's like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot.
I have a DNR.
Oh, she's upset. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, shoot. And ambulance came, took her back to PCA. They just checked her vital, all good, whatever. And I'm like, she's gonna be okay, right? Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is what she was worried was gonna happen. I'm like, what? She was worried she was gonna nearly drop dead at the wedding. Well, she's like, well, she's older and has health issues. She didn't want to draw any attention to herself. Like, too dang late.
Grandma on the ground.
Grandma on the ground. Oh boy.
I'm gonna start saying that. Grandma on the
Grandma
ground.
on the ground.
I think we covered a whole lot of stories.
covered a
There's
lot.
There's a few more things I wanted to talk about, but I guess we'll leave it for a part
We
two.
can do a part two.
We'll do a part two.
Come back.
Yes.
That's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was episode number 28 Before the Record podcast with special guest,
Isn't that our age?
Miss Shonah Rathwell. This is the first
I'm not
time I've said
28
her
yet.
name
You're not
Oh,
28 yet.
yeah.
I'm not 28 yet.
in the podcast.
I think we have a similar
So,
birthday too. Are you June?
I'm July.
Oh, okay.
July.
We talked through your entire thing.
Yes.
My name is Shonah Rathwell.
Yes. Welcome to the podcast. Okay, now
Thanks.
bye.
Thank you for showing up.
Thank
Thank you for
that's how I tell people how
showing.
to say my name. You want to go to the show? Nah.
Nah.
And then they go, ha ha ha, and then they never say it wrong again.
Shonah, do you by chance have any unique ways of saying coffee that you'd like to?
I'm a tea girl.
Your tea. She's a tea girl.
I think we picked the wrong.
Actually, you know what?
We picked
She's
the
a
wrong
tea girl.
We
I
picked the wrong
actually-
guest for the podcast, guys.
Yep.
I actually drink hot water.
I love it.
I don't even put a tea bag in
Shonah's unique way of
anymore.
saying coffee. It's not tea.
Tea.
It just ain't tea.
It just ain't tea.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I think that'll do.
That'll
Cool.
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Right
thank
on.
you. Follow, watch, share.
Subscribe.
Thank you.
I'm gonna learn how to do that. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to give him a ka-chow? Look at the one on the camera. Say ka-chow.
Ka-chow.